all about Cameron Brink's parents, Michelle Bain-Brink and Greg Brink. Star Cameron Brink's parents are friends with Steph Curry's parents. Cameron Brink has become well known for her career as a professional basketball player, but her life in sports is nothing new, thanks to her parents, Michelle Bain-Brink and Greg Brink. The basketball star was born in Princeton, New Jersey, on December 31, 2001. After years of work, Cameron was signed to the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks in April 2024. The forward's sporty parents met at Virginia Tech, where they were both studying on basketball scholarships. There, they became friends with Dell and Sonya Curry, parents of famous NBA point guard Stephen Curry. Despite Michelle and Greg's love for the game, they didn't push their passion onto Cameron, especially since she was more interested in art as a child. If you're the one pushing your kid into the sport, it's not going to end well for anyone, Michelle told Just Women's Sports. They have to want to do it. Of course, Cameron eventually caught the basketball bug, having found her competitive streak at a camp later on. She was also inspired by attending Stephen's games as a child. I loved him and I loved the atmosphere, she told Just Women's Sports. It all felt so normal to me. It was just what we did. I grew up around it. From her parents' long-standing friendship with Stephen Curry's parent to their careers at Nike, here's everything to know about Cameron Brink's mother and father, Michelle Bain-Brink and Greg Brink. They met as basketball players at Virginia Tech. Michelle and Greg attended Virginia Tech at the same time. Both there on basketball scholarships. Their practice facilities shared a hallway where the pair regularly saw each other. They were friendly with one another for a long time, passing glances and jokes for years. But Michelle wanted to take things out of the friend zone, so when she realized that Greg would never make the first move, Michelle took the reins. Their first date? A game of pickup basketball, and they've been together ever since. Michelle roomed with Stephen Curry's mom, Sonya Curry, in college. While Michelle and Greg played basketball at Virginia Tech, Sonya played volleyball and met Michelle through being roommates. Alternatively, Dell and Greg met playing basketball together. All four of them stayed in the same dorm, but Greg and Dell lived separately in the men's wing. Sonya and Dell have since divorced, but the families remain close. They are Stephen Curry's godparents. Like many college friends, Michelle, Greg, Sonya, and Dell built a forever bond. Making it official, they both made the opposite couple the godparents of their children. When Cameron was playing college basketball at Stanford, the Brinks would stay with Stephen and his wife Aisha to attend Cameron's home games. They both worked for Nike. Both passionate about sports, Michelle and Greg took jobs at Nike after graduation. While they ended up returning to the United States, Michelle and Greg's positions with the athletics brand took them to Amsterdam for 3 years, starting when Cameron was 8 and ending when she was 11. Previously the of Nike North America, Greg later became the of supply chain for Nike Asia Pacific Latin America, which was his last position at the company before his retirement. They share 2 children. 2 years before Cameron was born, Michelle gave birth to the couple's son and first child. Maintains a private internet presence, but the public does know one thing that keeps him connected to his basketball-obsessed family. He stands at a towering 6 feet 9 inches. Additionally, Michelle posts photos of him on her Instagram account, where she shared that he was a Dean's List student at the University of Washington in 2018. They raised Cameron and Cy in Oregon. While Cameron was born in Princeton and lived in Amsterdam as a small child, the family moved to Beaverton, Oregon, when she was 11. Michelle and Greg continue to reside there today. Despite calling Oregon home, it wasn't always a comforting place for Cameron. As she told Just Women's Sports, she was bullied for her height in high school. Cameron is 6 feet 4 inches, causing her to transfer to another school for her final year. She suffered a fair amount of body shaming, even from her teammates, Michelle told the outlet. It made her very self-conscious. They are Cameron's biggest fans and supporters. Throughout all of the trials and tribulations that come with striving to be a star athlete, Cameron's parents have always been in her corner. As reported by New York Times, Michelle and Greg struggled not being able to watch her games in real life during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, as they had hardly missed one throughout her entire life. You forget what it is like to make eye contact with her as she's coming off the court going into the locker room, Michelle told the outlet. Cameron was a freshman in the days